Hi folks, welcome. We're gonna start moving around and doing some yoga in a second, but still working on how much space I need to be fully in view of the camera, so please bear with me. I'm gonna grab my water. Hope y'all are staying hydrated and feeling good. So, I'm gonna get going on some yoga here. We're just gonna move around. We'll start out with small movements. So make sure you're nice and comfortable in your spot. Just a little ease and flow one way to the other, waving around a little bit. Shifting on back, shifting on forward, just noticing what parts of your body may feel a little tight, a little sore. And then start to settle in a little bit. Soften those movements. Start to relax if you can. And if you feel like you can't relax, just notice that. Try to avoid judging yourself. And just start noticing your breath. And with each exhale, see if you can find a spot that maybe needs to relax a little bit more. And see if you can consciously do that. We're going to start by tipping the ear down to the shoulder, checking in, noticing our neck, shoulders, any tightness. Then we'll roll on down and go to the other side. I try to avoid tipping the head all the way back. It's not particularly great for your neck. If you do want to go in full circles, just take it easy, go nice and slow. Taking your time. And when you settle back to the side that you started on, pause here for a moment, and then bring your nose down towards your shoulder. Ear to shoulder. Nose to shoulder, ear to shoulder, nose to shoulder. A couple more, just like that. Loosening up these muscles that do the very important job of keeping your head on. One more. And then come back to ear to shoulder, neutral. And come on over to the other side. Nose to shoulder, ear to shoulder, and just roll through a bunch of those. If you notice any spots, like your neck is maybe more tight on one side than the other, maybe due to, I guess people use headsets now, but how you hold your phone to your ear or how you sleep, or just general everyday life. And then when you're ready, ear to shoulder, come on up towards your middle. And we'll take one arm up to the opposite side of our head, and keeping your head nice and straight, we'll sort of pull away and push your neck in the opposite direction. So we'll go for a couple breaths like that, about 7 seconds. And relax. Give yourself a little wiggle. And then tip your head a little bit towards the side of the arm that is coming up and over. And we're gonna Go for about 7 seconds, just gentle pressure pulling your head away, your head, your neck gently, going in the opposite direction. I should say this isn't always recommended if you have any neck issues, whiplash, anything like that. And then tilting your head as far as you can to one side, pushing against about 7 seconds. Remember to breathe. And relax, release. Couple rolls, noticing if anything feels different, better. We'll go to the other side. So head straight up. Hand pressing against your head, head pressing away from your hand. Sitting up nice and tall here. And relax. A little shimmy, a little roll. And then tipping your head about towards sort of the middle between where you start to feel a little bit of tightness, so about halfway there. Couple breaths. Gentle traction here. And relax, release. Couple rolls. And then tipping your head. Little bit of pressure. And relax, release. Awesome. So we'll move around a little bit, get some big body circles here. If anything ever hurts while you are in my classes, I beg you to please relax. Step away from whatever you're doing that hurts. If you are someone who lives with chronic pain, it can feel like you're rewarding yourself by causing pain to yourself rather than just having pain, but please remember that the relaxation response does not happen if we are in pain. So causing excess pain is it's not gonna help. All right, let's take one big inhale on up. Exhale, tip on over to either side. Let everything come with you at first, and then push down. Let your hip fall where it wants to. It doesn't have to be perfectly flat on the floor. If you can't do it, it's something to work towards. And we'll just take some breaths where we move around a little bit. Opening up in the side body here, maybe a little bit in the back by folding forward. Inhaling on up. Exhale, fold. Inhale on up. Exhale, fold a little bit. Inhale on up. Exhale, push down, tip on over towards the other side. Everything comes with you at first, and then let everything come on down. Moving with your breath here. Rolling around a little bit. Opening up, push down, and come around for a nice twist towards the opposite side. Couple breaths. We're just starting out, so it doesn't have to be big. It doesn't have to be a hard twist. And then take that hand that's behind you, bring it up and over the hand that's touching your knee, and come to that opposite knee. So for a nice, easy, gentle bind here. For some cat-cow a little bit, start loosening up the shoulders. If your shoulders hurt while you're doing this, try leaning forward a little bit more. but just gentle traction. That's all we're looking for. When you're ready, take that bottom hand, unravel, bring it around to the other side. Coming up nice and tall here. About 3 breaths. Very good, very nice. So making our way just nice and easy towards a nice table shape. Getting into it here a little bit. We'll start to move around a little bit. Noticing hips, glutes, shoulders are feeling tight. We'll go in one direction a couple times. We'll go in the other direction a couple times. And when you're ready, shift on over to your right side and turn your left arm around a little bit. So we're stretching out our forearms here. Maybe a couple little baby circles in one direction. Little baby circles in another direction. And then shift away from that so you can unravel, and then shift to that side again so that you can turn the other wrist around. We'll take some circles here. Nice and easy. Just noticing this could be really nice if you work at a desk or a computer all day. If you spend a lot of time texting or driving or paddling or rowing, basically anything where you're gripping. And lean away from that turned out hand. Come right back on. So we'll go for some nice cat and cow motion. Exhale, roll. Make sure to tuck your chin nice and easy. Inhale, open for a nice move. Whenever I do yoga with kids, they absolutely love to make animal noises. And you know what? When I make them in my head, I'm a little bit happier. So if you want to make them out loud, you can go for that. Halloween cat, moo, cow. And then starting to make our way up into our down dog. Here's my little down dog here coming in to say hi. Coming on back for a moment, rolling around, checking in. And we'll inhale, bring your heels up a little bit for a nice high, big triangle here. Exhale, soften your knees, soften your ankles. No need to try and get everything flat on the ground right away. No need to ever get everything flat on the ground. It's your body, you do what you want. Inhale, everything comes up. Get nice and high. Exhale, soften. One more, just like that. Inhale, everything comes up. Exhale, soften. And then we'll wave on forward into our plank. Hold on here for just a moment, checking it out. And then let your knees come down, hips come down, everything comes on down to the ground. And then just a nice little gentle arch. You can even come onto your forearms. If you spend a lot of time sitting, a very small amount of time working on opening up your abdominal muscles and lengthening them out. This can feel really good. It can also feel really intense. Our psoas muscles, all those muscles that keep our hip girdle the way that it is supposed to be, can be very tight. So this type of motion isn't always natural, it doesn't always feel good. So when you're ready, tuck your toes, hands come on the ground, shift on back, inhale, lift up. Exhale, soften. wave on forward, back into our plank. Drop your right knee down, or whichever knee, just remember which one you started with. And then tip on over for a nice supported side plank. Maybe stretch it out a little bit, open up. Exhale, soften, fold. Inhale, open up. Exhale, soften. Inhale on up. Exhale, roll back to your middle plank. Hanging out here for a moment, checking it out. And drop the opposite knee down. Shift on over to the side. Open up for a nice supported side plank. Inhale on up. Exhale, soften. Inhale on up. Exhale, soften. Hands come down, knees come down, hips come down. You can either come to one of those baby cobra, low cobra, or you can come all the way up into your up dog. Looking out behind you, looking out behind you. And then tuck your toes, shift on back. Inhale on up, right leg comes up this time. And you can open it up, stretching out your hips, or you can hang out here in this triangle shape, lifting straight up. When you're ready, bring it on through, and you can make space for yourself. It doesn't have to look a specific way. It doesn't have to be a foot comes down, you're right in the right place right away. Take your time. There's no reason to suffer. All right, just making sure you're in a good, stable position here, and then drop that back knee down, untuck your toes, check in here, maybe come up a little bit. Notice how you feel, be nice and stable. So opposite hand to the foot that's forward, lean into it, open up for a twist. Exhale, trade sides. Back foot can support you, so keep it mobile. Make sure it's not glued to the ground. And we'll wave through this a couple times, opening up. Exhale, roll on over. Opening up. Exhale, roll on over. Inhale, open up. And come on back to your middle. Tuck your toes, shift on back for your runner stretch. Get nice and low. Stay nice and supported in this first couple times, and then we'll shift on forward. Hands can stay on the ground or stay on your legs if you want, and just floss on through here. This type of movement is really good for your fascia. We're sending blood, we're sending fluid to the muscles and around the muscles. And while we're doing that, we're lubricating the fascia that is encasing each muscle and is basically keeping us nice and hydrated, letting us move the way we want. And we're also sort of unbinding any adhesions that we may have. And on this last one, maybe press down into the ground a little bit. Give it a second. Exhale, roll on forward. Hands find the ground. Lift your back knee up and just slide that front foot on back. Hanging out here in your plank. We'll rock left and then roll right. Use some momentum for a nice side plank. You can hang out on your low plank if that's what you want, if that's what you need. Hanging out here, a couple breaths. Inhaling on up. Exhale, wave. And then we'll come on over to the other side. Rock right, roll left. Open on up. Couple breaths. Rolling on through. And then come on back to your middle. Let your knees come down, hips come down, whichever variation of this arched back that's nice and supported feels good to you. That's where you should be. When you're ready, tuck your toes, shift on back into your down dog again. Inhale, left leg comes up this time. You can open it up if you want right away, or you can stay in this three-legged triangle shape, whichever feels good. And then when you're ready, bring it on through to meet your hands. Get nice and stable here. Check it out. And then drop your back knee down. Roll around a little bit. I did something fun that I was just trying out, hadn't really done before yesterday, and my glutes are so sore. So just learning that about myself this morning. When you're ready, bring that opposite hand out and over for a nice twist. Exhale, roll on over to the other side. We'll wave through a couple of these, 4 or 5. Opening up. Exhale. Shift on over to one side, open. Shift on over to the other side, open. One more, both sides. Open, roll on over. And then bring your hands on down, tuck your back toes, make your way on back towards your runner stretch. Shifting around a little bit. And then we'll make our way forward. A nice low crescent. Shift on back, open on up. Shift on back, just flossing right through here. This is also great for opening and stretching the hips, the quads. If you're an endurance athlete who spends a lot of time on your legs, moving your legs, this can be really good for the length of your quads, making sure they stay nice and long. And then the last one, maybe pressing down a little bit into the floor. And then make your way forward. Back knee comes up so you have some support. Shift that front leg on back. Hang out in your plank for a moment. We'll go for those side planks. Shift left, roll right, open up. You can make it a little bit more funky if you want, lifting your other leg. We're shifting on back and opening up. Just take your time, have fun with it. And then roll on over towards the other side, open up. Maybe make it a little bit fun. And then rock on back to the middle, knees down, hips down. And roll around a little bit. For the first probably decade of me doing yoga, I would be like, God, I hope they stop for water. And you know what? If you're thirsty, you should drink. There's nothing so important in a yoga flow that you will miss out on by stopping and drinking some water. So we don't work as well when we're not hydrated. And if you're thinking about something else, like, gosh, I'm so thirsty, then you're not gonna have a great flow. All right, so coming on back, we'll make our way back towards our down dog. Rolling around a little bit, checking it out. Shift to your left, inhale, lift that right leg up, big stretch here. Bring it on through to meet your hands. Soften that back knee a little bit, roll your shoulders over your hips. Inhale, lift on up. Exhale, soften for your high lunge. Nice and easy here. Remember, breathe up. Exhale, soften down. Doesn't have to be a big motion. It can be a little baby motion. couple more, just like that. Exhale. Inhale, lift everything on up. Bring your back heel down, open your body for a nice warrior two. Hanging out here for a moment. Inhale, lift. Exhale, expand. Inhale, lift. Exhale, expand on out. Inhale, open. Exhale. We'll tip on back here, opening up our side body. Soften that back knee a little bit. Exhale, wave on forward for your side angle. How y'all doing? I hope you're doing great. And then when you're ready, bring your body a little bit parallel to the ground. Maybe your hands find the ground by bending your knees. And then shift on back for a nice pyramid shape. Take a couple breaths here. Soften both knees, shift forward, hands find the ground, front leg slides on back. Rock left, roll right, big plank here. And play with it, make it as fun as you want, make it as relaxing as you want. And knees down, all the way down on your elbow if you want, no worries. And then rock on over to the other side, nice and easy. Hanging out. Taking a moment. And then rock so your body's parallel to the ground. Knees down, hips down, upward dog shape-ish. When you're ready, shift on back, tuck your toes, inhale, lift up, downward dog. Left leg comes up, big stretch here if you want. And then bring it on through to meet your hands. Soften that back knee a little bit, roll your shoulders over your hips, inhale, lift up. Exhale, soften. Hanging out here. Let each inhale lift you up a little bit. We don't have to be static. Sure, it starts to build muscle. It gives you that muscle tension that helps you learn. But also, there are very few sports. There's very little time in life where we are so static. Inhale on. Exhale, soften. Inhale on. Exhale, soften. Hope y'all are doing great. Inhale on up. Exhale, turn it into your warrior two. Bring that back heel down. Make sure you're nice and easy, nice and stable. Hanging out here for a moment. Nice, soft, easy gaze out past your fingertips. Lifting on up, just like you're riding on a surfboard or paddleboard. Letting the waves roll right under you. When you're ready, we'll tip it on back for a nice reverse. Big stretch here. Exhale, wave on forward for your side angle. And then turning your body parallel to the ground. Find a little bit of nice grounding here, maybe with your hands, or maybe you step your back foot forward a little bit. As you fold forward, legs straighten a bit. And then when you're ready, soften both knees, hands find the ground, make some space, feet come on back. We'll go for those side planks. Last round of your side planks, so if you want to go for anything new, anything different. We'll shift to the left and then rock right. I'm gonna go for a little bit of a tree pose. Inhaling on up. Exhale, soften, flow. Inhale, lift. When you're ready, any kind of bind that you've made, unravel. Feet come down. Rock right, roll left. Inhale on up. Exhale, soften. Just flowing through it, letting your breath move you, letting your breath be your energy. And then, when you're ready, unravel. Rock back to your middle. Knees come down, hips come down. You can shift on back towards a child's pose for a moment. 30 minutes in here. I know it's not great to always be thinking about where you are and what time it is, but I realized at the beginning I didn't say how long we were going to be doing yoga. So we're gonna go for about 45 minutes. 15 more minutes, nice and easy. And if you're new to yoga, sometimes it feels like you've been doing something for a very long time. And sometimes us older yoga folks forget about that. So I'm gonna take a little bit more water. When you're ready, we'll make our way towards a down dog again, shifting on back, lifting on up. Inhale, right leg comes up, big stretch. We're gonna move a little bit more here, so bringing your foot on through towards your hands. Roll your shoulders over your hips, inhale, lift up. Exhale, we'll twist towards that front bent leg for a nice twist. Inhale on up. Exhale, twist. We'll go for about 5 of these. Using our balance. One more. Tip it on back for a nice twist reverse. Exhale, and just like we're untying a ribbon, turn it into your warrior two. Hang out here. Tip it on back for a reverse. Wave on forward for your side angle. Shift on forward, hands come down, foot slides on back. Hanging out for a moment. Knees come down, hips come down. Tuck your toes, shift on back. Opposite leg this time, lift on up, open. Exhale, bring it on through. Shoulders come over your hips, inhale on up. Exhale, twist towards that front leg. Inhale on up, 4 more. Inhale on up. 2 more. One more. And just like we're untying a shoelace, open into your warrior two. Stay nice and grounded here, hanging out for a moment. Let your breath roll through you. Tip it on back for a nice reverse. Wave on forward for your side angle. And then bring your shoulders parallel to the mat. One hand comes down, make some space, slide that front leg back. Coming into your plank. And then knees down, hips down. We're gonna make our way onto our glutes here for some core work. So So, shifting on over, rolling around here. Just gonna go for a little bit. Might be hard, might be too easy. You can make it your own. Just like Randy Jackson said in every single episode of American Idol. You made it your own, dog. All right, so we're gonna go for some boat shapes. At first, we're gonna get nice and stable, get used to being on our glutes. So give yourself a nice squeeze. Inhale, lift up. If you find that you have trouble staying up without your toes on the ground, that's fine. You can keep your toes on the ground, no worries. We're going to turn this into some boat poses. We're gonna float on through, so if you need to have your toes down, no worries. There's no yoga judges. The yoga police are not coming for you. I'm gonna lift on up a little bit, and then exhale, expand on out. Inhale on up. Exhale, wave on out. So we're going from our high boat to our middle boat. High boat, middle boat. About 7 more of these. 10 total, just like this. Five more, nice and easy. You can always take a break, take a breath if you need to. You can get lower if you want. Come on. 2 more, just like that. And then give yourself a nice squeeze. Maybe a nice stretch in the back of your legs. We're gonna bring our feet onto the ground. We're gonna go for some bridges here. Roll on down. If you love a wheel, you can sort of start making your way to a wheel. I'm not gonna stop you, but I'm also not going to be guiding that, so at your own risk. We'll inhale, make sure your shoulders are sort of touching the ground, the backs of your back. And then inhale, lift your hips on up. Exhale, soften. We're gonna go for about 10 of these. Lifting up so that your hips, your knees, your shoulder come into one line. Using your hamstrings, your glutes, your back. And always breathing. You can speed it up if you want a little bit. Couple more. Last one. And then give yourself a nice squeeze. We're gonna go back for some more of those boats. In just a moment, we're gonna make them a little bit more challenging. So we're gonna roll on forward, coming back towards your boat. This time our feet are gonna go in one direction, our body is gonna go, our hands are gonna go in the other direction. So we shift on over and then inhale back to the middle. Shift on over, inhale back to the middle. So we're gonna go for a bunch of these. 10 total, each side. Or I should say, I'm going for 10 total. You go for however many you want. I don't know if you can hear the wind out there. I'll try and see if I can keep some of that wind. It's nice to remember that we're in nature even when we're inside. It's very windy in Hawaii. One more each side. And then come on up, give yourself a squeeze. Roll around a little bit. We'll make our way back down. We're gonna go, you can make your bridges exactly the same if you like. Or you can alternate feet lifting off the ground, however you want to do it. So I'm going to go for 5 with my left foot lifted up. Inhale on up, exhale, soften, just like that. And then I'll trade sides. Changing sides here. Awesome, good job everybody. Give yourself a nice squeeze here. Maybe grab onto your toes a little bit. For a little bit of happy baby. Rolling around a little bit. We'll bring our feet onto the ground. I'm going to take my hair out of its bun. It's making my head wobble in the wrong direction. So laying on down, keeping your knees bent, we're going to go for some windshield wipers. Rolling on over to one side, rolling on over to the other side. This is one of my favorites. And I often forget that it exists. So it's always an option. When you're ready, bring your knees on up. You can shift over a little bit to one side of your mat, and then we're going to drop our knees over to that same side. So this doesn't have to be super intense. Your knees don't have to hit the ground. If you have a block and you want to put a block under your knees to support yourself, keep yourself from going too deep into the stretch, then go ahead, go for that. We'll take a couple breaths here. Ready, roll over to that side a little bit, grab onto your knees, roll them in, give them a good squeeze, and then shift your shoulders over a little bit to one side, tip on over, and open up. When you're ready, roll over to that side, grab onto your knees, come back to your middle, give yourself a nice squeeze. You did a great job, you did some hard work. And bring your feet onto the ground, slide your feet on out if you want to, so that you're laying fully down. And just relaxing, releasing. You may have a lot of other things left to do in your day, and maybe this was a good time for you to center and move and take some time for yourself. Maybe you're doing this towards the end of your day. okay if you feel that you have trouble emptying your mind. It takes a very long time to get there. If you have a busy brain and you're thinking about all the other stuff you have to do either this week, that's okay. I hope you got something out of this. If you did any of it, you did it right. Good job. When you're ready, make your way on over to either side. Take your time getting up. We'll make our way to a nice seated shape. We're at about 46 minutes here, I think. So thank you so much for taking your time to do some yoga. Thank yourself for taking some time to do some yoga. I really appreciate it. I hope y'all are having a great day. Please let me know anything I can work on. I'm always open to feedback. And yeah, that's all. Howdy. Thanks. Aloha. Adios. Coming on over.